All right, welcome to Mound City Council meeting for Tuesday, September 10th. It's 6:04 and we're in council chambers. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, we got our agenda. Does anybody have any amendments?
There's no amendments to the agenda. There's just an updated resolution for the bond issuance that's got some numbers that are a little bit different than the one in the packet, but it's in front of you, and then I'll have it on the screen as well. So yeah, I believe there's a packet in a resolution up there, so.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we got our agenda with that one amendment. Can I get a motion to approve it?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda with the one amendment.
Okay, can I get a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that passes. Then we got our consent agenda. Does someone want to go through those?
Can do that. Consent agenda items A through D. A, approve payment of claims. B, approve minutes from the August 27th meeting. C, approve resolution authorizing 2024 Central Business District parking maintenance roll at 5% interest. And D, approve resolution approving application to conduct off-site gambling for American Legion.
All right, we got our consent agenda. Does anybody want to talk about any of those? Okay, hearing none. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Okay, and can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Larson.
Aye.
Councilmember McEnany.
Aye.
Councilmember Pugh.
Aye.
Councilmember Castellano.
Aye.
Mayor Holt.
Aye. All right, all that passes, thanks. All right, number 5, we got comments and suggestions from anyone that their item is not on the agenda. Want to come up? All right, hearing none. Number 6, we got Orono Police Department activity. Come up. Welcome.
Good evening. I got the August kind of readout for our area work here. We had 136 calls for service from August 1st through August 31st. Reviewing the calls and the categories, nothing is really spiking. Everything kind of was normal in those parameters. Same thing as usual: disorderly conducts, domestics, medicals, thefts, welfare checks, things that we typically deal with in all areas of our patrol area. So everything's kind of leveling out. With the Labor Day weekend just passed, Orono was pretty steady, nothing serious. Mound, same way. We answered calls, but nothing was too heavy, anything heavy going on. So I believe it was just the holiday weekend. Everyone was kind of winding down. So we had a very peaceful, pleasant weekend here. So some things to note. This weekend we got the OLL festival coming up. We do have one extra body or 2 extra bodies that are going to fill in out there. Otherwise, we're going to have normal coverage of the area and then adjust to help with anything that may come up, which we don't anticipate. It's usually been a pretty peaceful and fun time for families and everybody out here. So one couple of things just to pass along. The Orono officers 2 weeks ago assisted Wayzata PD with a stolen vehicle that came through our area. The vehicle was once again picked up by our integrated flock system. We were alerted to it, and then Wayzata was alerted to it. They picked up the chase and they chased him down 394, and the vehicle ended up crashing over by Shillard Parkway. Orono officers assisted. Our drone operator went out, and Plymouth K-9 went out in pair and located the outstanding suspects on that deal. So we're glad to have those systems in place that we have technology that can handle and make things a lot easier and kind of multiply our forces and get things accomplished. The Lake Minnetonka SWAT team, the SWAT team that handles this area, we are going to be heading up to Ripley here in the next 2 weeks. That will be our Minnesota Tactical Officer Association. That's where we are tested and critiqued throughout the week as a team, where teams present past problems, past incidences that they have resolved and mitigated, and then we go by and we test our abilities and our capabilities of resolving and mitigating. We're tested all week long in our physical fitness, firearms, and everything that they can throw at us, we have to mitigate. So we'll be going to that in the next few weeks, and then as usual, the guys and gals at the Orono Police Department, we are pushing to stay vigilant with everything we do out here, pulling doors at night, walking around the neighborhoods and getting on foot, getting out on the bikes, and constantly trying to stay vigilant towards anything that's going on. So that's all I got. Is there any questions?
Does council have any questions?
I don't.
All right,
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you for your service.
All right, we got number 7, reporting on the results of the 2024 bond sale. Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor and members of the council. Stacy Quilving with Ellers & Associates, your municipal advisor. Today, we had the bond sale for your $4,820,000 general obligation utility revenue bonds. Just to remind you, that is to pay for some of your 2024 and 2025 sewer and water projects, but more importantly, to reimburse you for prior expenditures in your water fund that you did from 2020 to 2023. As part of the process, you guys have to be rated by a rating agency, so you were rated through Standard & Poor's. And prior, you were rated a AA. Mr. Iverson and Ms. Reisdorf and myself participated in a rating call with Standard & Poor's, and we went through all their questions and a lot of information. A couple areas that we spent a lot of time discussing was your recent long-range financial management plan that you undertook, and then also the fact that you're looking at increasing or changing your reserve policy for your general fund that you haven't done yet, but as part of the whole process that we're looking at undertaking. Based upon that information and all the other metrics that they looked at, I'm happy to say that they upgraded you to a AA+, which is significant. So that's great for the city. And so I do have a plaque to award you guys for that bond upgrade, which is awesome. So your work that you really put into that long-range financial management plan paid off for you. And it was acknowledged by the rating agency in their report as well that you actually have done that. Now, the other great thing, though, is that as you call, these bonds are carrying a credit enhancement through the state of Minnesota. You get that because they are utility revenue, so the state will do that. So they're carried at a AAA when we went out to market for the sale. But again, your AA+ is going to be helpful as you go forward in the future. We had the sale this morning in our office at 10:30, and you had 7 bidders for the project, which was quite a few bidders. And the lowest responsible bidder was TD Ameritrade at 3.22 or 3.23% as a true interest cost on those bonds. So with that, the resolution before you would be approving the sale of the bonds to them. As Mr. Dixon had pointed out, you have a new resolution in front of you, and the reason why it's new is because the one in your packet had all blanks, because you don't know the numbers till we actually have the results.
Yep.
So with that, Mayor, I'm happy to stand for any questions, but then more importantly, to be able to present you with your plaque thereafter.
Okay, does council have any questions for Stacy?
How often is, or in what capacity would that AA+ rating be reviewed again?
Mayor, council member, great question. Anytime you as a city issue debt, you will be re-rated. So
But not
every
until
issue
then.
that is correct.
Okay, all right.
And then sometimes they do surveillance, so if you don't issue debt that often, so there's some committees that may not do it for maybe every 10 years or whatever, you may get a surveillance report that they'll just come in and look and assure that,
Okay.
okay, we're still saying that you're rated at X, Y, or Z.
Great, okay.
Council have any other questions? Okay, so then we got a resolution on the 2181,
Yes, 2181.
and do we have to fill in the verbiage?
Actually, the name of the resolution is still the same. It's just
Okay.
that the language and the rest of it's got some
Okay.
differences.
All right, does someone want to make that? Can you scroll up a little bit?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the right page.
It's,
Or just, or is it
Yep.
that part?
it's part of it.
Resolution, okay.
see it.
whoever wants to do
Am I
it.
like,
What page? That's right.
oh, it's not on its own
2181.
page. That was way off.
Someone just has to read the.
Yep,
Yep,
Mayor Council, I think it's
sorry,
also on
hang
the
on.
updated one that.
Can I
Mr.
ask another
Dixon
question
put out,
about the
so-
rating after the resolution?
sure can.
Okay. Not really a question, there's maybe some layman's term explanation for me, but, okay, so I would like to make a resolution authorizing issuance and awarding the sale of 4.82 general obligation utility revenue bonds and pledging for the security thereof net revenues.
Okay, got a motion, can I get a second?
Second?
Okay, any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that passes, thank you.
Thank you.
So not really a question, but maybe just like a quick explanation for anybody listening. How is this bond rating? What are the ways that it helps us,
Yes.
like directly?
Mayor, council member, bonds that are actually rated, doesn't matter what your rating are going to have a lower interest rate. And the better your rating, all things equal, the lower your interest rate is, because you have a better credit aptitude. So now at a AA plus, you are one step below a AAA community, basically.
Thanks.
So Mayor, with that, I would like to present you with the plaque that we have, which basically is a general obligation utility revenue bond upgrade and credit enhancement, which says that, you know, higher credit rating equals lower cost to the city.
Good.
A couple of the statements in there that the upgrade from AA represents Standard & Poor's recognition of the city's recently adopted 10-year long-range financial management plan, good financial management practices which further support the city's trend of stable budgetary performance, and then your strong management that you have as well.
Nice. Do we want to do a
Thank
picture?
you, Stacy.
Can we all do a picture?
Sure.
Mr. Iverson, do we have you to thank for this? Thank you.
Thank you, Maggie, Noah,
Thank you,
and
Maggie,
Stacy.
Noah, the whole group there.
Yeah, everyone has to get the photo op.
You can take it with the mayor.
Yeah, you can take it with the mayor.
You want to do that?
Well, it's too much for me to get down there. I'll just stay
You
here.
can pop your head in the middle.
Oh, I could sit behind you.
Yeah, yeah. How about our city manager, too?
And
Jesse, come
Noah
on.
and Maggie, here, let me.
Come on,
Maggie,
you take the,
get
get Maggie in
I'll
there.
take it, Maggie.
Yeah. Yeah,
Maggie.
all the guys that do the hard work.
Who's taking a picture? Where?
Oh, sure. I kind of see your little hat there. Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stacy. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thanks, Noah.
Did you want to?
Oh, no, it was shining off my head and everything.
I could retouch your head
No.
in it and take the shine
I
off.
don't want anybody to know who I am.
I'm that way too. I like
Yeah,
being
I-
invisible. Just put me in.
You do not know who I am.
Yeah, I'm that way too. Behind the scenes, I'm happy.
All right, we got number 8, holiday wreath replacement.
Ho, ho, ho.
Mayor, council members, Brian Preach, Public Works Director. I'm here tonight to talk to you about the holiday wreaths. We currently have 60 wreaths that we hang up downtown, and starting in November and usually lasting through January. And we currently have 3 generations of wreaths, multiple different colors of lights. and we're missing bows now too. So we went out for bids to see what it would cost to do a full replacement. I got 2 bids back. One came in at $16,080, and the other one came in at $21,900. I did quote out a different style wreath that does not have the candles in the middle of the wreath. We've had 2 electrical fires in the past 2 years, and both of them have been because of those center candles. So not only that being one option, we wanted to get rid of there's a dramatic cost difference by almost $10,000 to go with that style. So we quoted out the style to the right, and talking with Noah, the recommendation, and it being over $10,000, we're looking for approval, and the recommendation would be to use the community investment fund. So, I think, do you have a couple pictures of, did I get that?
Yeah, and Mr. Mayor, if I say, I think what Ryan meant to say was he went out for quotes, not bids.
Sorry, yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks. Is that what the one that got
Yeah,
fired?
you can see the salt just kind of eats away at them. They're rusty. We've had a lot of electrical issues. The ice builds up around those candles. You got another picture?
I'm glad I never saw any of the wreaths on fire.
Luckily, they were just smoking and we noticed them. Both, somebody called in for each one. Yeah, this is one of the smaller size ones. They are a little bit newer, so they're in a little bit better condition. And then we have 2 different sizes. Don't really match. Yep. Picked out the beautiful one to show you.
Well, I'm sure the maintenance without the candles will be great, but those are classic, I'll miss them. But I agree with, the cost savings.
Cost savings and just a safety issue too.
I have something too that's really subjective, so it's probably crazy to bring up. However, in the last 2 years, I've been traveling through every little small town from here down through Jordan, Chaska, because I've had a brother that's been in the hospital in every single western town.
Yep.
And I've noticed for 2 winters, the beauty of the warm white rather than the cool white lights. And being that we're buying new wreaths, I thought we could discuss that a little bit. The warm white, again, this is very subjective, but warm white is so much more inviting than the cool blue white light, it looks like Halloween. So I thought this would be a great time to discuss that. I noticed on both your bids, they were cool.
It was done that way because of the lights that they purchased for the tree lighting.
I know, and that was really
that was-
sad. That's what got me thinking about this, because you drive into town, it's just like, oh my God, it looks so unfriendly. So we purchased all those, those aren't an annual thing, they just pop into the trees
They
through
replace.
the company?
They take them down and then they replace
so
what's
we own
need
those.
be, but we own those,
Oh,
yes.
okay.
I was gonna ask that same thing.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I bugged Ryan about this a long time ago.
I know,
and
I did
tried to
too
get like a
for-
cost on it, but I was like, I love, all the lights are up, it all looks great, but then there's like some cool white and some warm.
I know, and the warm is
So
so
I'm
much
glad
more
that that will get
beautiful.
replaced. Like, I know you guys repair those and there was like warm and cool intermix.
And we've tried
like-
rewrapping them before and it's, you basically gotta cut out everything in there.
Yeah.
No,
And then
no,
try to
no,
rewrap it.
I
and then
agree with that, I'm just saying, since we're
Yeah.
purchasing 60 new wreaths, could we discuss going to warm white?
That's up
I actually wrote that down too. I
up to
was
you
gonna-
guys.
So, but you had, I mean, you said it was expensive, but also it looks like the quote for these was
Color,
the
They're both
color doesn't make a
cool.
difference.
So instead of, because
lights.
on these, the quote is for cool white,
Yeah.
but you could get
Yep.
warm white.
Yep.
I
Could
just think it
you-
looks so much more inviting.
So do I, and I was gonna ask that, and I was gonna say maybe I'm the only one that cares about this, but I would love if it were all, I was like, I either want it to all be warm, first preference, or at least all be cool and not mixed, but I want the warm white. But if, I don't think it's a cheap swap either. I remember there was a lot of lights that needed to be, because we just store them, and then the lighting,
I think that would have to be
Could we swap them
in
out with the
time
company?
as they replace.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd have to find out what we have initially into lights.
Could we
to swap
find
them
out how much that would be? If we were to switch to all warm white, what the cost would be, and then would that come out of the community investment fund too? I just think now's the
know how
time
that
to
was
look at
paid
it,
for.
because we're gonna have the
I do
Lost
too.
Lake Commons all beautiful and done, Artesa, the
Yeah.
crosswalk, like every downtown's beautiful, we should just get that
And
done.
with 60 new wreaths, it's opportune time to make the decision.
Keep in mind, the Lost Lake Commons is not gonna have the trees to support a whole bunch of lights.
Oh, I just
for a
mean
number
like
of years
downtown's
here.
gonna look
So
beautiful.
we're gonna plant a whole bunch of new trees,
Yeah.
but they're gonna be little, and we're not gonna
Right.
be able to cover those tiny trees.
Oh, I didn't even mean
Yeah.
that, I just
But-
meant like, once the construction's all
Yep.
done and it looks
Yep.
nice down there, like we could have the lights one hue,
Yep.
you know?
All right, so we like, here, do you want to say something?
And while we're at it, as we come into the city of Mound, we have our monument sign there. The lights that come up, as I recall, to illuminate the monument sign are warm white, but once again, the lights on, if you're gonna continue to put the spruce trees in the back, those
Yep.
have been cool white.
It was cool, my direction was to have cool white and blue there 2 years ago, so that's just what we put up again.
Okay?
But if we want a different color, that's not a lot of strings of lights. So
Okay.
we just went and purchased them at the hardware store,
Okay.
so.
Well, I
That's
don't,
an easy
the
change.
blue's fine, it's just those cool whites look
Could-
so,
Could we go with tonight, like, giving the approval to go ahead with the warm white wreaths, and then also say, could you let us know how much it would be to switch
Yep,
all the lights on the trees downtown to warm? And
yeah,
okay,
I can get
Be
a
awesome.
quote on that. I just met with, Mike West, who's the owner of the company that we work with that does all the
Christine,
tree
right?
lighting, yeah,
Yeah.
Christine Lighting, and
okay.
so I can reach back out to him and get a quote and bring that back to you guys.
I'm just thinking if it's on two of our minds, it's probably on a lot of people, you know.
The entrance, we
Tie it all
just do
together.
in-house because we didn't want to add that to the cost, so.
thank you.
All right,
It would be
so
nice
thank
to have
you.
the wreaths replaced.
So is this just a direction to staff, or?
I would say we'd be looking for a motion to approve the quote from display sales, and then at that point, I think we can just infer from this that we'll be going to procure some quotes to replace the rest of the lights through the city. I don't think we need a motion for
Should I
that.
ask my question?
Oh, yeah. Councilmember.
While we're talking about electricity and lighting,
Yep.
I was wondering has Excel given us any sort of report about the fires that occurred on some of our wiring during the storm and their repair and replacement of it? Do we have any idea of that? Because my understanding, there were numerous locations.
I have not received anything and we haven't seen,
Nothing directly, only
No.
just general updates from Excel that go out to basically every city, but nothing specific, but I think we could.
I'd like to ask that the staff request from Excel a full report on that, because I think that's a safety issue. We're a very forested city, and I know that trees were involved with those wire fires, and so I think we want to stay on top of them in terms of keeping those things repaired appropriately.
I do know that Excel has Ashland going through, and they did quite a bit of clearance last year. They've done some this season, and then they were out helping the Excel crews during the storm, or after the math of the storm. So, but Jesse wrote that down, so,
Thank you.
yep.
All right. Okay, so we gotta do a motion for these, but then with the warm lights.
I can do that, and then you guys stop me if I'm not speaking correctly, but I'd like to make a motion to move forward with the quote from Display Cells for the wreaths, with just the change to warm white light and not cool white light.
All right, got a motion, can I get a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Those opposed? All right, that passes.
Yep.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
So, or does this also include kind of moving forward with finding out how much the change to swap the rest to warm light would be?
You'll come back to us with
Yes.
this.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. Cool.
I'll get a hold of Mike and find out the numbers, and we'll come back to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, we got council reports, Councilmember Pugh.
Well, unfortunately, I haven't been at Gillespie the last 3 weeks because I've had some medical conflicts, but I will be back there next Wednesday, and so if a council member wants to join me for lunch, please do at Gillespie, noon, Wednesday. Also, as you know, I'm chair of Age-Friendly Minnesota Council. The grant request for age-friendly grants will be on the website this week. There was one grant awarded in the first round to WeCat, but I'm hoping that the city will also put in an application for our park downtown. And I think everyone has seen the new divide on Shoreline. It's just beautiful. The county really did us a good job on Shoreline, and I think, the town's looking up. I'm not sure what they're going to do on Commerce. They've got things up on Commerce now. So are they going to put another divide there too?
Not that we know of. I think they're working on some utilities in that area.
And of course, we want the bike path for Lost Lake, bike walk path for Lost Lake. So those are my reports. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Councilmember Larson.
I don't have anything to report except I just want to mention that Patty Salden Dodds passed away. And I have to say that she and Bruce Dodds had, the True Value hardware store up here. If there was anybody in our town that represented us and who loved our town, and she bent over backwards for anything to do with our town. And Patty is going to be really missed in this town. So I just wanted to mention that. I know her service, her celebration is off in the future a little bit, and you can look it up and see when it is. But anyway, we're going to miss Patty Dodds.
Yes.
Too young.
Thanks. All right, Councilmember McEnany.
I have a couple of things. Tomorrow, Mama's Happy is back in Mound, and they're going to do a ribbon cutting at 1 o'clock. So I talked to Jolie a little bit ago, prior to the meeting, and any of us that want to show up, that would be great. I'll take pictures. I don't need to be part of it, but they're really excited, and we are excited to have them back in Mound. And then I just wanted to, Jesse, if you can clarify, it looks like you were meeting with Stacy yesterday about the Dwayne 66 building. Did you get any information?
Yeah, it was good. We met with staff, so there's a building permit in, and there's a watershed permit that still needs to be procured, which is normal, but based off the conversation we had, there shouldn't be any hangups. There's no environmental impact studies that need to be done. All the setbacks are fine, so we're expecting that if they submit the watershed permit and the rest of the building plans, everything should be moving along. So I don't have a timing on it, but they want to do the foundation this fall yet, so that's what we're hoping to help along.
That's great news. Thank you.
What was the plan, just the same as before?
Yes, so it was approved last year in the CEP, which is a couple flats up top, and then a couple garages down below, and then a commercial space.
Good, thank you for that update. That'll make a lot of people really happy. And that's all I've got.
All right. Councilmember Castellano.
I don't have anything.
Okay. And I don't think anything either. Fire department meeting this morning, 7 to 9. So, all right, do you have anything?
We'll just say you'll probably be seeing it if you haven't heard about it. I can't recall if I sent something out, but there's a demolition permit in for the building on Shoreline and Commerce. I forget what they call it besides the small white building.
Dentist office.
Dentist office.
Dr. Mitchell's building.
So I've heard them all, so and I believe that's scheduled for next week, so if anybody asks, that's what's happening. There are no plans otherwise that I'm aware of, so if anybody asks us, it's a permit that came in and was approved, so we'll look forward to what's next, I suppose.
All right. Anything else?
No, I'm good.
Okay. I'll take a motion to adjourn. So moved. All right. Can I get a second?
Second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? All right, we're adjourned.